Aloha! Welcome to the show today, Friday's special show, as tomorrow is the Huntington Beach Bike Parade. Stay tuned. Alrighty, let's play the video. Woohoo! Wow, how about that?
That's crazy.
Well, let's talk. What, 4 years?
This will be the fifth one now.
Okay.
So we've got yeah, it's pretty good. I can't believe it.
So it all started because
mainly COVID. I mean, everything was shutting down, and so it was really nothing to do. And that's where I went around, asked a couple kind of friends and groups of friends, and just said, "Hey, you guys want to get together and go for a little cruise?" And then we were going to go down to Gallagher's and just have a couple of drinks and just just hang out. And then Scott Tucker was the owner at that time, and he goes, "I'll make a flyer. It'd be easier. You can give it to your friends and everything, and so they can come in." I'm like, "All right." And I posted it on one forum, and I didn't know anything about internet or media or anything, so I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just post this real quick." And then I get to the park, which the place we were meeting at, and there was over 1,000 bicycles there. And then the cops showed up, and then it became a fun ride after that. But cops ended up escorting us and blocking off the streets for us and everything, and it was good. It was a really, really super cool, just family, friends, kids. It was just a community thing that was just really, really, really good. I mean, everybody was just smiling and laughing. Yeah. And that was right at the beginning of COVID when everything was shutting down. So it was like, there wasn't a whole lot to look forward to. And then, it just happened. And, I mean, HB, that's HB. We're a very active community. So, you just can't stay inside. You move to Huntington, yeah, you're going to be outside more than you're going to be inside. So it worked out pretty good. I like it.
And you remember our first podcast together was right on the patio there at Gallagher's.
It was. Yeah. And I really didn't know anything about anything, which I still don't, so I had to borrow his laptop. And if I remember, I might be wrong, but I think the battery died or something. And we had to switch real quick or something was going on. And that was fun. Hey, that's how it is though. That's how the bike cruise has been, is just, you get out there and all of a sudden you have to kind of improvise on things. And, but now it's pretty big now. So I like it.
Well, I want to do a shout out to anybody who's a business owner in Huntington Beach and you work on Saturday. Take tomorrow off and pay it forward to our amazing Ed Romo. He works so hard at getting this done every single year. And it's just a great way for everyone to come together as one. And you have an after party as well, right?
Oh yeah, we have a few places that you can go to. So some of our sponsors that have some stuff. We have Killarney's, Cruisers. We're going to have a live band at Hurricanes, and after that live band at Hurricanes, we're going to have a DJ. So there'll be a lot of entertainment up there at Hurricanes. We have Perks, also have a band over there also. So there'll be a big after party there. And then we also have Bruno's, which used to be Surf City Ale House.
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they came through again. Ale House Jim over there was always giving our veterans, a nice lunch. And Bruno's just took over weeks ago, and they want to continue the tradition, and it's the community, so he wants to get to know everybody. And so yeah, his name is Daryl. If you're down at Bruno's, just walk in and welcome him to our neighborhood. And he's a nice guy and a little nervous. I mean, it's a big place, and he's ready to take on that challenge. But yeah, so we're here to help him out. Just be like, hey, that's one of the good things about the bike parade is when we all get downtown, there's a lot of new stuff going on. I mean, Coaches opened that deli. You have
awesome.
So there's about 3 or 4 places that have opened up since last year. So it kind of gives it's given us a chance to get out there and see what's out there for ourselves. There's stuff there that you might be like, wow, I didn't know that was here. And for them, it's perfect. It gives them a chance to welcome you, to their place. So, so it's a pretty good thing going on downtown. I love it down there, and it's been through a lot. You know how it's been since our first bike ride to this one. There's been so many changes downtown. So it's really, yeah, a lot of people are getting confident, and coming back.
Right now I want to take a minute to do a tribute to a few people. So I'm going to actually turn my camera around. Dano Live right there. I actually have a big stick up. It's a 12 by 12 stick up. He actually taught me a lot as a YouTuber as well. So he's actually in my YouTube office every single day. And of course, Rock and Fig. Make sure you guys check out on Main Street, Rock and Fig headquarters. What would you like to say about those two amazing men of abundance that we've celebrated for so many years? And they're not with us, but we feel they're in our heart every single day.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dano actually did the very first bicycle cruise, which was funny because
I was there. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I really didn't know a lot of people were going to be there. I don't even know how Dano found out. I mean, that guy, I didn't see his video until a few days later, and I didn't even know he was on Main. Why? I remember passing him up, but it was like, wow, what's going on? How did he find this stuff out? But Dano was just a great guy, good friend of mine. I mean, I didn't hang out with him all the time, but we did hang out and had some good talks. We'd eat lunch together. Yeah, I knew him pretty good. I every Wednesday when they had the car cruise, I'd always go to Killarney's and I'd put some old music on and watch all the old cars go by. And Dano would always come by, and it's like, hey, how you doing? And so it's pretty good. And then, Fig, oh my gosh, they're both legends,
Definitely.
Rock and Fig, we'd go in there every Tuesday at Taco Tuesday and say hi to him. And then a couple of times I'd see him during the week when I go down there. And, Fig was just always had that shop. You could just pop in and, say a couple words and hang out and kind of, just kind of see what everybody's doing. And then, and you pop out and his voice is, legendary. Of course, when he's on K-Rock, it's just like, oh man. And for me, I grew up in Anaheim Hills and the surf report for us was incredible. I was like, oh my gosh, now we know where the outlet surf is everywhere and we know where to go. So now they're not, now that he's not here, it's kind of like, wow. And so, anyways, yeah, so Rock and Fig was incredible. And that guy's a legend, to me. So, but yeah, him and Dano were two great guys. So, yeah.
Well, I'm a transplant, and I actually moved to Huntington Beach in 2017. And I remember when I first met him, actually, I think it was at the H2O church or one of the events.
Oh
And
yeah.
after I think I knew him just 3 or 4 days, and I just felt really comfortable. Went into the shop, and he's like, "Yeah, Cindy,
Yeah.
what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, I just want to talk, chill, hang out." He goes, "Yeah, hang out. What's up?" Yeah, so it was just really, really amazing. He had a warm heart, and when you met him, yeah, it was only like you're a part of his ohana for the rest of your life. He just always made you
Yeah.
feel comfortable. So I just want to make
Exactly.
sure that we did a little tribute. So going back, what else do we got going on? Anything else for the weekend that you like to promote or do some shout outs to the owners of those restaurants?
Yeah, definitely the owners. I mean, all the sponsors that I have for the bike cruise are incredible. Everybody, I'm telling you, everybody downtown, when I go over there and I say, hey, let's, I'm doing the bike cruise. What do you guys want to do and stuff? They just, it's like, they just say, what can I do? How can I help? What do you want? What do you need? It's not even like, not one of them ever said, well, what do I get out of it? If I'm a sponsor, what are you going to do for me? They just said, hey, what can I do? So it's just, that's how the community is. They're so
Yeah,
giving,
that's
and
true servant leadership from the heart. Yes.
yeah, exactly. And that's how the whole city is. It's, during COVID, it was a tough time, and we got a lot of, negative kind of feedback and stuff from, media saying, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. And really, it was a lot of people that just started coming into the city that didn't even live here, that it was a little negative and stuff. And now that it's kind of, everything's kind of back to normal a little bit, it's nice for us locals to get back out and just enjoy our city again. But it's great to also just share it with so many people. I mean, there's so many people out there that just come down, and that's kind of like with the bike cruise now. Everything's really good because we have all of our locals. Basically, it's all of our locals that invited friends and family from all over. I have people that up in Northern California. They're texting, going, "Hey, we haven't been there for a while, but want to come down. We heard about your bike cruise, and this, we want to come and check it out." And it's nice, and you see everybody just all excited and happy in the morning, and then then we cruise to downtown, and then we're downtown. Then then we have a chance to share and spend time with all our friends. I mean, really, in the wintertime, we all become family down here because it's not so busy. So it's a pretty good thing. And the bike cruise brings everybody back out. It's like people you haven't seen. They're like, oh, I live over here now in this part of Huntington or that part, and so it gets everybody. It's like a big reunion for so many people. So it's pretty good.
So we have Finn. You see his comment, Finn? His comment down there?
And then, excited for the bike parade?
And Carly.
I see. What if guys decorating bikes?
And Mary West actually is all the way from Washington State. She's in one of my business clubs, but she's always supporting me and a lot of local Southern California businesses as well. So let's kind of go more into the weekend. So would you like to announce anything? I have an announcement for Sunday. Anything else you'd like to announce for the weekend?
I don't think so, really, because that's Saturday, and then it rolls into, the after parties on Main Street. Like I said, live bands will be at Hurricanes and Perks. And then we also have second floor is actually going to have a place that you can park your bikes. I believe that you have somebody that's going to be able to watch them, and they have it on closed circuit TV, so they can keep an eye on all the bikes, which will be nice. But that's about it. I mean, we have that's Saturday. So what you've got on Sunday, that'll be my rest day, but we'll see. What do you have going on? Maybe I'll meet you somewhere.
Yes. So first, I'm going to do a shout out to HB Dad Vibes. Make sure that you follow him on YouTube. Looks like he's a YouTube follower. So Sunday, we have Mr. Rocky McKinnon Surf and Sup Lessons. So he is going to be at the pier doing adapted surfing for veterans. So I believe it starts from 9 to 12:30. So if you want to head down to the pier, you could actually go to Bucket List Coach Web Show on Facebook. You could also go to McKinnon Surf and Sup Lessons, or even if you're a friend with Rocky McKinnon, you can see that. And of course, 4th of July. And we have all these amazing events coming up. I'm going to do a shout out to Jody McKay with the Huntington Beach Artisan Fair. I'm usually a vendor there about once a month, and she's doing really great work for our city. And of course, we have the U.S. Open of Surfing coming up. We have our air show. So many great things for Huntington Beach. And let's do some shout outs, and then we'll close out. Who would you like to shout out today?
Well, man, Rocky McKinnon, that guy is incredible. I mean, just saying his name again. But yeah, we have so many people that are incredible in our city.
Can you shout out to the
But yeah,
business
Rocky
owners?
McKinnon.
We have Carrie at Hurricanes, right?
Yes. Yeah, Kerry. I mean, that guy. Him, and then the owners. It's the same thing. You walk in there and they just want to help out. It's like, hey, what do you need? What do you need? Doors are open. The city of Huntington Beach this year gave me Main Street all the way from Yorktown all the way down to PCH. So they're blocking off the whole Main Street. So that's our route this year. We just got really too big to be doing the little streets, and it just got so big so fast. The city wanted to help out, whatever way they could. So yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to the city. Molly over there at the city's great. We have Rick Brown helped me a lot, with the city getting things going on.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much every single one. I mean, everybody that's helped out. There's just so many people, friends, family, everybody. It's an incredible thing. So, and
Thank
putting on
you.
the podcast for everybody here. So, yeah.
Thank you. So I'm going to do a couple more shout outs. So do a shout out to the podcast you're on yesterday first.
Oh yeah, that's Don Ramsey and Mel Craig. So they have the podcast going on now. They just started, and it was a pretty good little thing. I mean, it's nice for us three to get together yesterday because we've all been friends for a long time, and it's just it wasn't even like being on a podcast. It was more of being in the living room. It's the same like with you and I. I've known you for a while. We've been to U.S. Opens. We've been to different things, and it's like sitting in the living room just talking with them. And we were just sitting there laughing. And I just think if it would have went like a little longer, we would have been laughing way too hard. So I think it was just long enough to keep us from getting too crazy over there. But yeah, that'll be a good podcast.
I'm going to have him on my show in a couple of weeks because I want to promote his show and also talk about VW buses. So I want to do another shout out to a YouTube, Finn Gamble. He's wondering, or he or she is wondering, if there's any merch vendors. I know that there's some artists here in Huntington Beach that do some merch. Do you know anyone who's going to be doing that this year? There's
going to be a lady, Krista Campbell. She'll be selling some hats, red, white, and blue ones. And then Bud Lamas from 17th Street Board Shop. He'll be selling some T-shirts that he has on his own. We with the bike cruise, I'm not going to have T-shirts until next year. And next year, one thing that we are going to be doing is we're going to go for the world record. So that'll be huge next year. We're going to be promoting a lot next year. I'll have T-shirts next year. There's a lot of things that I want to do to really improve it. So, but not take it away from just the natural little neighborhood, bike cruise, because that's what it is. It's like neighbors getting together and laughing and giggling and having a good time, family and friends and stuff. So I'm trying to get that going, and it'll be pretty good for next year. Next year's gonna be a good one. So.
Well, yeah, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to my friend Austin over at the senator's office to see if they could work on getting you a proclamation for the state of California for making this a day for every year. So I'm going to work on that for you. And if anything, you could have it for next year. And that's going to be, having a proclamation would be really good for, what you're doing and all the amazing things you do for our city. Yeah. So my friend Mary West says she wants to attend from Washington State next year. So let me do some shout outs again. So make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to Bucket List Coach Web Show, subscribe to HB Dad Vibes, and subscribe to Finn Gamble. So it's all about paying it forward to other entrepreneurs or YouTubers. And so at the end of the show, I always talk about the value of pay it forward, how we need to be servant leaders and we need to do things for others without a reason. What is the one thing that you would like to do to pay it forward? Let's say for this summer to either a random stranger or someone that's in your influence here in Huntington Beach.
Well, there's a lot of them. I mean, really, it's just every day helping people out. I mean, I don't have one person or one thing that I think I would like to do. I mean, every day is always just trying to make somebody smile. If you can just make one person smile every day, that's golden, because it's, you're making their day. and you make their day, even just for a little tiny bit, it's like a snowball. It just keeps rolling, and it helps everybody get, they get happier and happier and happier. And and if you're ever feeling down, it's like when you start smiling and somebody smiles back, you kind of, about what's going on, and it makes you feel good inside. And you just, it's all positive, just staying positive and letting everybody, feel the same. So, yeah. I'll try to make you smile every day.
I actually do 2 pay it forwards. I have my friend Randy Myers on, and he does a lot for the community. So I'm actually going to treat him out to lunch, and I owe you like 2 lunches. So I'm going to take you out to lunch. I remember earlier this year, you helped me with one of my vendor events down there by the AAA building. So I appreciate everything you do, everything in our community. Yes.
Forgot about that.
And
that was fun.
Surround yourself by those who are celebrating you. I talk about it every single day. Add some aloha, compliment someone that crosses your path, make those phone call of gratitude. Just, I want to say like probably 3 or 4 times a year, just randomly, I'll call Ed or text them and just say, hey, I want to let you know that I appreciate you. Because you never know what that other person is going through. So if you just take a few minutes to make a difference, that's actually going to pour more into you and more aloha. So one last thing, let's talk about what you're doing tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and go back in the green room. So
I'll
give
be
the time.
After it.
You're right.
I'll be taking a really good nap after it's all over. No, really, I just wake up in the morning, and then we're gonna get down there. I have the cars will be arriving around 9:30. I'll be having all the veterans shuttled up. They'll be up there in the front, and then when we're all kind of set, around 10:30 or 10:45, we'll take off. I'll have all the cars in the front. I'm hoping for about maybe 100 to 200 roller skaters. Wow. And then, and then after the roller skaters will be all mixed. They'll just be all us locals, neighbors, everything. People with dogs, cats. I mean, you can bring whatever you want. And then, and you can ride whatever you want, skateboards, stand-up paddleboarders, everything. It doesn't matter. Unicycles, there's, it's basically just get outside, go for a little ride, head downtown, have a little lunch, and then, continue your ride if you want or whatever you want to do. But it's going to be a great day, hit the water, hit the sand. It'll be just going to be a really, really good day. And the time, I think, is a good time because it's not too early, it's not too late, so it doesn't get too hot. And it'll be good. It'll be a good day.
Comment here. Yes. Crazy Ed and the crew for sure. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. Anything you like to do before we go back in the green room?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. And do you have the date set for next year yet?
It will probably be the 28th. It's always going to be the Saturday before July 4th. So I'm pretty sure it'd be the 28th. And then if Rocky listens to this, I'll tell him I'm going to be getting a hold of him because there's something I want to do with his group that he works with and stuff. I'd like to get them also near the front of, the parade of everybody because what he does, it's just incredible. I mean, working with handicapped people, throwing them on a board to get out there and surf. Oh man. I mean, that's just, he's what he does for people is, on life, it's just great. It's a great thing that he does. So, so I'd like to get Rocky in there and his, a lot of the people that he's had surf, a lot of the handicap, maybe throw them on a truck, do something, have them in the front with their boards behind them, things like that. Just something, an idea. But I really, every time I see Rocky and what he does, it's just, man, it's incredible. That's another great thing about Huntington Beach. We have a guy like, Rocky. So, so it'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I told you my story with Rocky. I've always wanted to surf since I was 18. I barely swim. I'm terrified of the water. I've surfed twice. The second time I popped up, I cried like a big baby. But he just stand up, Sydney. It's waist high, and it was the most amazing experience of my lifetime. And it's hard to get a surf instructor to want to teach you if you're not a real good, avid swimmer out there. But it was absolutely amazing. It's one of the most amazing experiences of my existence, of almost 59 years of living. So it's it was pretty epic, I must say. So
I taught both my daughters when they were pretty young. So I had Kayla up at 5.5 years old, I think, and Cassidy, I can't remember how old she was, but
Oh, wow. Okay.
In fact, we have one board in the background right here is an IPA board. So Duke IPA, the local
Mm-hmm.
shaper. You know, that's another great guy. We're just all lucky to have people like that around. But
Well,
yeah,
since you're doing a shout out to IPA, I have a story real quick, and then we'll head out. So I actually met his father about 4 years ago, and
oh,
I
yeah.
was it was really cool to meet an iconic shaper. And he said, "Nice to meet you." And the very first thing he did was plant on my lips, so right on the lips, adding that aloha spirit. So until the end of my days, until I kick the bucket, I'm always going to remember that I got kissed by an iconic, surfer shaper. It was pretty cool. Do you have anything about Duke Ipa or his father Ben?
Well, I have a lot. I have a lot about Duke and and his
Yeah.
wife Val and Ben. I think the funniest thing about Ben was luckily he didn't plant one on my lips when I met him, but when I had a chance to I'm man, that guy's like is one of the best shapers in the world of all time. And when I met him, I met him through Duke and everything. And then, but one day we were down on the beach and his grandson Colby was out surfing and Ben was on the sand and he was alone. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go over there and talk to him. So my daughter Kayla used to babysit for him. So it was kind of like my door to get in. And so then I went over there and I sat down and I'm like, yeah, I go, my daughter, babysits. And he's like, oh, yeah, I met her. And I know you're talking about it. I'm like, oh. And so we're talking. And then he goes, man, and he goes, I know I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble when I get home. And I'm like, why? And he goes, because I didn't tell my wife I was coming here. I'm like, what? I go, you came from Hawaii to here? He goes, yeah, I didn't call her. I haven't called her all day. He goes,
Oh, wow.
He said he was on his way to work, and then he just jumped on the plane. Didn't want to go to work, so he jumped on the plane, came here to visit Duke, and that was
awesome.
it. Yeah, so he's like, I think I better call her. She doesn't get worried. I'm like, oh man. But now I started laughing. I'm like, this guy, he was like a little kid. Ben was just, just that little moment to be able to spend with him was, incredible. But yeah, great guy, and then Duke too, and his wife Val is.
Oh yeah,
that whole
Val's
family is
crazy.
incredible. Yeah.
And
Great.
one last shout out is my friend Carly. She actually runs this women's group here in Orange County, Huntington Beach. And if anybody wants to meet her or you want to meet other amazing women, we do great things locally and not just business. It's all around, just getting together and doing things like what we got going on tomorrow. And I'm going to put you in the green room. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you head out to the Huntington Beach Bike Parade, and we'll see you here on the other side.